A few days ago, I said we wouldn't be talking about the Lakers anymore because we're headed to the playoffs and they're not a part of it. But we still have to, just a little bit, because after yesterday's Vogel news, all the compelling exit interviews that followed, we've changed course because that situation, it could literally impact the rest of the league in waves. So take a listen to what Russell Westbrook said when he took to the mic on Monday.
LeBron and AD were very clear with, like, let Russ be Russ. Like, we heard that a lot.
Yeah, well, that wasn't true.
That's what I was going to say. Did you ever, I mean,
let's be honest.
Yeah, did you ever feel like, and I guess, and how much of that is just sort of the nature of when you put three All-NBA players together? How much of it is fit and challenge from that? How much of it do you think was maybe something else, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of where we are on the floor, positioning, fit and challenge, trial and error, being able to play with on the floor with each other, finding ways to be able to utilize us to the best of our ability. And it's that simple. I just,
Do you ever feel like yourself this season on the court?
Very rarely.
Okay, that was just a snippet of some of the really interesting comments that Russell Westbrook had yesterday, including saying that he wasn't sure what Frank Vogel's problem was with him. Richard, I'm just going to give you the floor. What's your reaction here?
What? I just want to hear it. Okay.
You're on your soapbox. Go ahead, sir.
Vince brought his tie. Okay, so look, this is the thing. When I listen to Russell talk in that moment, I still see professionalism, and this is why. Because he's not coming out here and blasting Coach Vogel. He's like, I don't know what Coach Vogel's problem was with me. Well, it could have been your shooting percentage in the fourth quarter, but then on his side, it's kind of like, well, Russ is like, well, I wasn't put in the best position. All the people that are saying they want Russ to be Russ, then I need to have the ball in my hands 95% of the time, and I need to be able to run the offense. I need to make some mistakes, but I also need some positive to come with those mistakes. He just wasn't in that position. And everyone knew that. Everyone knew that going into. Russ knew that going into. So the fact that we asked Russ to do something that he had never done in his Hall of Fame career and then criticize him for not being able to do something he's never done in his Hall of Fame career, I think that shows the disarray from the front office. That shows that there was a lot more tension from the team and inside than was shown. And there was a lot of tension there with the coach. And I think that could lead why Frank Vogel was possibly let go, not just because of, all of the things that we've talked about, but because they felt that if there was a chance that Russell was going to be on this roster, Frank Vogel couldn't be that coach for this season.
Well, but one of the things that we heard Adrian Wojnarowski talk about yesterday was how with this particular job, and LA should be attractive, right? But with the dominant other folks having these, being able to be in these coaching meetings and have all this input, was Frank Vogel even really able to use Russ the way that we don't know that. We don't know if he was able to use Russ the way that he wanted to, and that could have probably led to a problem.
I don't think so. And unfortunately, I think he's a scapegoat in this situation sometimes, and that's the thing about being a coach. It's when management puts a team together, they say, hey, go win with this.
Yeah.
And sometimes, my argument with this all the time is when you have a coach, get players that fit that coach's style instead of just putting a team together and saying, hey.
Or when you have a star player, get players that fit around that.
He's a defensive coach, so get him some defensive players with those stars.
Well, that's how they want to do
it. And that'll help the situation. Sinead, what you think?
Yeah, I agree. And Richard, you're right a lot about the dysfunction and just things going off ever since 2020. I really think when it comes to Russ, the only thing that really made me a little disappointed in his response was more so the fact that, all right, like I couldn't play my brand of basketball. Well, you have been able to play your brand of basketball, whether that was in OKC, in Houston, in the nation's capital, and now to have this idea that coming to Los Angeles, you're smaller than the franchise. The franchise is a championship, organization that has won multiple. And so even the greatest players know that you have to be able to take whatever sacrifices is, because championship comes first. And so that's the difference that I see here. Like, I want to be my best self. Yes, I understand that, Russ. But at the same time, you're playing alongside LeBron James, Anthony Davis. And as a professional, you have to have that self-awareness that, like, all right, maybe I'm not shooting the ball as well as I need to. Yeah, that creates a situation that might not be great for my team. How am I going to help them benefit through that? How am I going to be a spark plug? There's so many different aspects of professionalism, understanding that the team you go to might have you as the priority, as you as the answer, or they won't. In the case of this instance, the Lakers don't have him as a priority, largely because you have LeBron James, you have AD, you have a number of vets, and you're coming in new after a championship 2 or 3 years ago. So I think it was just hard for me to hear that, oh, you didn't make it work. It's, well, this is not the make it work, it's where we make championships.
Just one thing, I think there's guys out there who sometimes don't understand how to make that sacrifice. And it's a learning curve and learning process. They have to go through this
well,
to grow.
Especially if what was required of Russ for the last several years was vastly different than what was
don't tell Russ he's going to have the responsibility of having the ball, and then when it's starting to go south, you put the ball in LeBron's hands. Don't tell him that.
Well, but this
and he has to learn to sacrifice.
And this is the other thing. You take Russell's greatest year ever, and it is probably 6th compared to LeBron's greatest year.
That's fine.
So it's like, we're going to give the ball to LeBron James with all due respect. You, as a future Hall of Famer, and I played with you, against you in your prime. I played with you in your prime. You also made adjustments.
Right.
Eventually, you went to, I'm going to come off the bench. Eventually, I'm going to just be a supportive veteran. We saw it with Carmelo Anthony. And I'm not saying Russ is in that veteran space of coming off the bench, but Russ did not do a very good job of adjusting his game to what the team needs. I think he went into it expecting for the team to adjust around what was his best trait, but that wasn't what was best for the team.
But do you see a path for him to do so going forward?
That's the question.
I think it's hard because it's hard because you've already opened the present. You can't put it back in, right? Like you see a circumstance where, all right, you gambled or mortgaged a lot of your future based on this decision, and it's going to be out of your hands because isn't it a player option too?
But can he learn this summer?
I think he can.
Can he go through this?
I think he can.
That's the question.
And it's going to take some really difficult conversations amongst LeBron, AD, and Russ to say, hey, if you're not knocking down your three, this is what we need you to do. If you're not, even with the minutes too, you think about, all right, maybe it's not us all going crazy in the beginning. Maybe it's 10 or so minutes you come in, and that's your time to up the pace. There are adjustments that could have been made, but I think pride got in the way of it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.